going on, guys? Black Scout Survival Late Night Live. Thanks for tuning in. And no one is protected from the woke mob. You know, they're going to cancel everybody. The global cabal, they're coming for everybody that talks against the woke regime. And so Jordan Peterson is the new target, and we'll get him in just a moment. But I just want to talk about a few people before we start that. Some big players. You know, it kind of all started with Alex Jones a few years ago. He was the first one truly canceled. And, you know, he continued speaking out, and now he's being sued for, you know, like a billion some odd dollars. So even though he ultimately beat cancel culture, they didn't stop, and they still came for him. And then we have President Donald Trump canceled on all social media platforms. Fake investigation after fake investigation or allegation, whatever you want to call it. And trying now to trump up charges, no pun intended, for him not to be able to run in the next election. He also defeated the cancel culture by creating his own social media platform. But yet they're not stopping. They're trying, like I said, to trump up some kind of charges to keep him from being able to run for president. And then, you know, because the fix was in the last one. So they know that they cannot beat him this time because they didn't have, you know, they had the pandemic to kind of help with that and mail-in voting and all that stuff. But people are wise to that now, so they know they're not going to be able to get by with that. So the next person on the list, Kanye West, canceled everywhere, lost millions of dollars in business deals. His kids, you know, taken away, can't see him, kept from him. He was put on meds to make him like a zombie. And, you know, he came out, he even though he was canceled, he still got on there. He got on Alex Jones. He was still outspoken, you know, these sort of things. And then he went missing for a month. But apparently he reappeared at some church yesterday. So, you know, the list just goes on. We have Andrew Tate, the most recent. First, he was canceled. But, you know, he also beat cancel culture by moving to Rumble. And then people, you know, spam posting his content. So he still has overtaken the internet, even though he isn't posting it himself. Now he's sitting in jail. All assets, his mansion, his millions of dollars of cars were seized. And I got news today that he actually was just sent to the hospital. Now, there's some reports that he was attacked in jail. There's other reports that he has some kind of cancer on his lung. It's unclear what's happening, but he still beat the cancel culture. But the thing is that one thing he said is there's a 3-step rule. First, they cancel you. Second, they put you in jail. 3, they kill you. And so he actually posted, or had someone post for him today, that if they kill me, apparently this being in the hospital, if they kill me, I love you all. So they will stop at nothing to shut people down. And the thing is, all these men are canceled, like I said, but they found a way to still speak to the masses, right? They may have different messages, and you may not agree with everything they say, nor do I agree with every single thing all these guys say. However, their stance against the woke bullshit culture and the destruction of America is a unified voice. And they don't like that because these are strong personalities, very influential, and they have a voice people listen to. And so all these guys, they're attacking them. So that's the thing. Like, I see people in the comments when I talk about any one of these guys, they're like, well, what about this about him? He's this or he's that. I don't care about any of that. These people are not my heroes, right? But the fact of the matter, I like that they stand up against the woke regime. You know what I mean? I'm not asking them to go take care of my kids. I'm backing what they say against this woke mob, Marxist, shadow cabal government that's going on, right? And so they all have had bad things happen to them, right? And now we have them targeting Jordan Peterson, right? Jordan Peterson, you're like, man, he's pretty mild, but he has taken a stand, and he's very influential and has a very influential voice. I'm actually going to start off first with his daughter talking about it. We're going to play that clip real quick here.
The College of Psychologists, a bunch of people put in power by the government, basically, is threatening to take my dad's psychology license because he's been criticizing the government. This isn't a joke. This has been torturing my family since 2018. seriously bullying my dad in a way that really caused everyone in my family a lot of stress. I think it's part of what contributed to him being quite ill in 2019, 2020. Colleges are in charge of doctors, massage therapists, dentists. They've been around since about the 60s. And it turns out, which I guess isn't that surprising, they've been infiltrated by the government. And now it looks like they're being used to control particularly conservative working professionals.
So one thing that I found out today is that they actually pretty much control the politicians ultimately control the government controls these, so it's almost, it's not even fair. So that's what she's getting to here.
Think you can trust your doctor to talk to you about anything that the government doesn't back? Definitely not, although we probably already knew that. This is kind of how colleges work in part. So this is how bad it is. He's getting investigated because of tweets he's tweeted, personal tweets, opinions, things he said on Joe Rogan. It's such a scam too. They're requiring him to do media retraining that he pays $225 an hour for.
The word retraining, like a retraining camp. What does that sound like to you? Let me know.
For an unspecified amount of time. And then at the end of that training, they decide whether or not he's learned anything and whether he can continue being a psychologist. This isn't even a process that goes to court. It's just this regulatory board of like 12 tyrannical individuals. It's crazy that what you say online can be used to get rid of your license if people don't like you politically, which doesn't sound very democratic to me. They don't like his opinions, so they're trying to shut him down. But right now, it's in a very real way. The tweets they've identified as problematic include the tweet about Elliot Page. Dad's trying to protect kids from being sterilized. That's definitely not appropriate. The tweet about the obese woman on Sports Illustrated. Again, obesity should not be celebrated. It kills people. And then tweets criticizing Justin Trudeau and another member of the Liberal Party, threatening to take your job is a serious threat. Anybody can submit a complaint about a psychologist or a doctor for that matter. Anybody. Doesn't have to be a former client. So for Dad, it's random people on Twitter complaining about him. Out of this audience of 20 million, he has 12 complaints. The college could throw these complaints.
So, this is like one of those things I think will spread like wildfire. If they get any traction with this, no one will be able to have a voice because it will come after everyone, in America too. Any doctors that speak out, which there's very, very few because you've seen what happened to them. I mean, I saw one doctor, I think 2021 or late 2020, lose his license because he, spoke against the vax to a patient. Patient complained. And so, I think if we see this, what they're trying to do is silence people. Obviously, it's not what I think. I know that what they're trying to do is silence people. But if they get traction with someone huge like this, it's just like putting Andrew Tate in jail, taking millions of dollars from Kanye West or billions from Alex Jones. Any of us peons or pawns will be very afraid to say anything or go against the woke mob.
Out, but instead they're threatening him and have been for years, wasting his time, bullying him, and threatening to take his license. Maybe we'll do a podcast about it. I'm not entirely sure what to do here other than tell people about what's going on, but maybe complaining back at them is appropriate. You can go to the link. I'm going to link it below, and you can enter in a complaint about the college itself and the people running it because they're bullying and harassing my family. So I don't know where the protection there is. Where's the protection against a tyrannical organization that's set in place to protect the government? This is basically...
Yeah, well, that's what we've seen. That's everyone. Anything you're involved in, they're protecting the government. That's what they're doing. So that's her video. She has a link here if you want to go do some complaints and stuff like that to this college and help Jordan Peterson out. But it's going to continue in this way. It's not going to stop. It's only going to get worse. I'm also going to show Joe Rogan here talking about it as well. He was the first person I see speaking about it. I think he got the information first. Jordan Peterson texted him, so we'll go ahead and hear his from his video.
Okay. He's getting in trouble for retweeting some person who was critical of Justin Trudeau and the whatever board of psychologists that they have in Ontario. is bringing him in for disciplinary discussions, and I think they're having some sort of they want him to be involved in some sort of a class or some sort of a thing. Here, I should just read it. And if I don't get, I'll contact him. If I don't get his permission, I'll delete this aspect of it. But so here's what it says. Says the College of Psychologists of Ontario, the government mandated professional.
One thing real quick, I just saw this guy said, what's complaining going to do? What's complaining going to do? Complaining changed a lot of things, guy. The woke mob does it. The silent majority sits back and does nothing. Complaining changes the game, right? Whenever you see these corporations losing millions of dollars because people stop funding them, right? It works. They'll quit. But the fact of the matter is silent majority, conservatives by and large, do nothing. They'll talk about a armed uprising or something, but they can't even just turn off their Netflix or Amazon subscription. You know what I mean? Or they can't form a protest somewhere. They won't do anything, right? Hence why the country's been turned over, because there's people too busy lazy, being lazy, that will just complain on Facebook or say things about what's complaining going to do nothing. Because it's nothing you're doing anyway. So it is what it is. Let's get back to Joe.
College of Psychologists has disciplined me and is threatening my clinical psychology license for retweeting the Conservative Party leader, Pierre Poilievre. How do you say his name?
Not sure.
Criticizing Justin Trudeau, the chief of staff, Gerald Butts, someone named Jacinda Ardern, and an Ottawa city councillor. He is required to participate in mandatory social media communication retraining to modify my objectionable behavior, which I absolutely refuse to do. So they'll go to the next step, which would be an in-person disciplinary hearing, with my license on the line. I'm going to make all this public this week. If you're interested, take a look. Canada has given over to the commissars, something I thought I'd never see in my lifetime. Happy New Year.
Well, I can't say I'm terribly surprised,
So anyway, we saw the tweets. I also got a website with the tweets where he goes over some other things too, but the thing is that people like this, like Joe Rogan, for example, they try to cancel Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is pretty much uncancelable because he is such a big asset to Spotify. Spotify makes the majority of their money from him. Spotify's a massive, app people use, product people use. And so he can't be canceled. He's one of those guys, right? So his voice is strong, just like Elon Musk. He went and bought Twitter, right? The thing is that people say that, like this guy that said complaining does nothing, right? Complaining with enough people does work. They don't like you to group up together. They want you to be separate. Go sit down. Why do you think that during the pandemic, go sit in your house, don't even go outside, wear a mask so you can't even see but people's eyes, don't go see your family, don't go to the hospital, don't go to church, right? Only watch, the state-ran media and these sort of things. This is how they segregate you, separate you, and indoctrinate you, okay? And it's easy to do. But if people stay together as a unified voice, and the stronger people like Joe Rogan, uncancelable, Elon Musk, uncancelable, some of these people are, right? If you move in that direction, you take over. These pink-haired or purple-haired with face piercings that are, Antifa, what are they really doing other than they're not using firearms? They're taking over the country just because they're being loud voices. They go get jobs as school teachers. They indoctrinate your children. They go run for city offices. They do these things. They're always in it, right? They're in social media. They're building social media platforms and presence. It's kind of like people say, well, you're making a video talking. Yeah, that's actually a very important thing. Why do you think they're shutting people down like Jordan Peterson, Andrew Tate, these sort of people, because talking to, when you have a large following, is very dangerous, right? They don't like it. That's why they deplatform you. They shut you down. So people that say, oh, you're not doing anything, trust me, you're doing something. You're doing something because people are hearing you, right? The more people hear you, because the thing is a lot of these politicians, for example, they're in their position to get money. They don't care about America. They don't care about your state. They don't care about you. They want to be there for money. If they hear that a lot of people are going against what they're saying, they think they're going to lose and not get reelected. Our governor, Henry Master, right? He's good to go now, but he was on the fence early 2020, and people got on his behind. He went full to the right after that. He wasn't a fence rider anymore because he realized he won't get reelected. And so the thing is that, I'll always say, vote with your dollars. Where you sending your money to? People complain about these sort of things, but they'll support these woke companies. They're supporting Nike. They're buying Coca-Cola. They're wearing Carhartt. All these sort of things. There's actually this lady. People always ask me what companies to support, and there's this lady. I can't remember her name, but my wife showed it to me. I might get her on the show, but that's what she does. She finds everything, even companies you would not suspect that are way into the woke culture are on there. And so some brands I even use, I said, wow, and she would show, on there why this is. Maybe it's something hidden they don't even show the public, but it's where they donate their money to. It's kind of like the other thing is, where's your money being donated to by the company you support? The companies you support. Are you buying products that is supporting LGBT drag shows for children, right? Because you could be. I seen this one guy, he's a knife maker. He makes, terribly designed knives, but he's pretty popular. And he did a whole rant on American-made knives. Oh, you need to buy American-made knives. But he's wearing Chinese Nikes. And he's like, I always wear Nikes because they're the most comfortable way, supporting woke, LGBT, Black Lives Matter, all this sort of nonsense, right? With the tennis shoes he's wearing. So to me, it just shut your mouth. Like you're not doing any good. You know what I mean? You're shooting yourself in the foot. Danish Girl says, thank you too, by the way. Check what's happening in Las Vegas. What mainstream media is not talking about, not good. Lisa Haven videos with a SHOT Show there this month. Not sure if I should mention this or not. I don't know anything about that. I'll have to look into it. And thanks, KNN. Appreciate it. And I know I missed Tim earlier. Sorry about that, man. Intellectual member says, join the tribe. Yes, absolutely do that. And that's what I want to talk about too. The thing is that, join the tribe. It takes evil prevail for good men to do nothing. That's right. Yeah, join the tribe. So anyway, it's kind of like with me, man. What I noticed is like the past few months that since I made the tribe, because when you get a group of people, we got like 1,000 some odd members in the tribe, people in all over states. The attacks have been coming on me like in all kinds of realms since then. Since I started getting people together to network for worst case scenario, and the attacks coming. Like, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy because they're trying to cancel me. This and that, trying to get rid of me because of I got a group of people that have the same ideology, motivation, these sort of things, and they don't want that. They don't want you to do that. And anytime you do that, you're going to get more of it. So here's some this Toronto Sun. Here's some other tweets he's got. Enough already. Time to stop the mask, stop the lockdown, stop the petty power mad hysteria, leave people alone and let them get to their lives. He then says, enough is enough with COVID mandates, drop the damn mask and idiot rules and get on with life today. He tells this guy, says, you're also a prick, right? And then there's one here, then stop, puppet. Now, what's your end game, Justin Trudeau? Lay it out. So he called Justin Trudeau a puppet, right? So he's going right after him. He's a big guy. It's dangerous. He's a dangerous man because he's got lots of followers. His voice is dangerous. You're free to leave at any point. And this is some guy, I guess, arguing with him. And this is where he's talking about the investigations. Nazis, white supremacists, they simply do not exist in Canada. There's no culture for such things in Canada, political or otherwise. This person tweeted, Trudeau was right about the white supremacy problem in this country. So you see, he's definitely taken a stance. He's definitely put in a fight for these things, right? So anyhow, the question I have though is to the leftists that may follow me, that may watch me. Do you have any logic first off? Right? Are you a logical person? Do you have basic reasoning skills? Or are all those gone? CNN has brainwashed you so much. Your confirmation bias is so strong that you can't realize that no one on the woke side has never been canceled. Why is that? Does not get you thinking? Because in my life, I've been sheep many times in my life. I can admit that. But the thing is that there's things that ring the bell. That's just logically it doesn't make sense. Why is no woke person on the left or shadow government cabal, globalist elites? These people aren't canceled. They can do whatever, say whatever. I mean, Dana White. I mean, I'm not saying he's part of this, but he just slapped the taste out of his wife's mouth twice on film, and he's not canceled per se. Maybe it's because he has so much money that and his company's so strong he can do whatever he wants to do. But only people who oppose the regime for the most part are the ones that get shut down. We have doctors. Remember, if you got they got shut down for speaking against the hokey pokey. Pilots got fired for not taking it. Service members got kicked out of the military. Marines and soldiers, sailors and airmen got kicked out for not taking it. And now apparently they are letting them back in. Look at this. They're saying, commanders, this is a message that just come out. Commanders will immediately suspend the processing initiative of any involuntary enlisted separation or officer elimination actions based solely on soldiers' refusal to comply with DoD COVID vaccine. So this was basically saying they're stopping the separation immediately for people who refuse the vaccine. Order commanders will not take any final actions on involuntary separations already in progress pending additional guidance. For those officer eliminations already in progress, general officers showcase authorities will suspend forwarding the action to the commanding general. Human Resources Command, the United States Military Academy, U.S. Army Cadet will suspend cadet separation and disenrollment proceedings. So now they're stopping it, and probably because we're about to go to war, and they know that, and we need the bodies. But whatever it may be, I would definitely go get a lawyer if you got kicked out, you were separated. After this, I'd sue the government. Take what's yours. You deserve it. They destroyed your career because of some nonsense. But they chip away at all of us. And don't think because you're not on the Jordan Peterson level or Andrew Tate or Donald Trump level that you're not going to be attacked or deplatformed too, because you definitely will. They're coming after all of us. We all have to take a stand. We all have to be firm in our beliefs and our ideologies, and we have to oppose this nonsense, because as long as you allow it or you say nothing about it, and I know so many people, especially Christians, they'll let it happen. They'll not say anything. You got to stand against this stuff. You have to take a stand. You have to stand for your morals and ideologies. You have to be willing. These are the things that a man must know, right? These certain things that he will not bend or break on. What are they? What are the most valuable things to you? Your morals, your ideologies, and these sort of things. So stand firm on these guys and don't go silent in the night. Go join our tribe, because you never know. It's better to have people now than when times are really bad and there's no internet. There's no way to talk to people, right? Go ahead and make those connections now. And the link is below at Join the Tribe. And you can go to the community tab at the top of the page on YouTube on our page. And the link will be down there. So it'll say Tribe link. Anyhow, guys, let me know your thoughts on all this and about these people and anybody I miss that they may have canceled as well. Anyhow, guys, stay frosty, stay strapped, stay dangerous. Take care.